I'm Derek Harper, and this is 5 Minute Majors. This week, we're diving even deeper into the CHL with the addition of the topic of the CHL's Memorial Cup. Each spring and early summer, the CHL has their round robin and then tournament style Memorial Cup. What happens with that is you have the winners of the QMJHL, the OHL, and the WHL, plus a host city. Usually that host city is in Canada, but we've had it in the United States here 3 times, and we will have it a fourth time here very soon in 2024 in Saginaw, Michigan. When the Saginaw Spirit hosted. Previous U.S. cities to host: Portland, Seattle, and Spokane. So it's all been the WHL prior to this. So this is the first time that the OHL will ever host it in the U.S., let alone any other league besides the WHL. Now, with that comes a lot of talent. It's another reason that a lot of top tier players choose to play in the CHL at the major junior level. And it's just because of the talent that's gone through there. You've seen the likes of Sidney Crosby, Nathan MacKinnon, Seth Jones, Corey Perry, among others. And the most recent champion is the QMJHL's Quebec Remparts. Now, this is also a very interesting year, an interesting week with Nathan MacKinnon's alum, his former team, the Halifax Mooseheads, having a lot of success, and they've been winning a lot, but so have the WHL's Portland Winterhawks. Now, what's interesting about that is that back in 2013, these two teams were also neck and neck, 1 and 2. They ended up facing off in the MasterCard Memorial Cup Finals. Now, the Kia as the sponsor. But that aside, we're looking at a possible rematch from 2013 this year if this trend continues this season. Portland currently holds the #1 spot in CHL's top 10, with Halifax second. Now, that Memorial Cup was in the WHL when the Saskatoon Blades hosted. And Nathan MacKinnon's squad came out on top in that, the Mooseheads. Now, Portland had a lot of talent that year, so did Halifax. But this year, it will be interesting if we see that, or if we see maybe different teams match up. Maybe Wenatchee makes some run to it. Maybe the London Knights make a run from the OHL. It is an OHL host city, but also it comes the factor of the host city. Now, that team has sometimes won in the past, but it tends to be that they have to enter a unique circumstance where the host team they have to put together a really competitive team in a time span of a year-ish, maybe a year and a half, because they got to compete for that title in such a short time span. Now, sometimes that team is a playoff team. Sometimes it's just they're a lottery team. But what the negative effect this can have on the host team is that when they are done with that, they have a lot of the top players. So they have a lot of 20-year-olds, like three of them or more. And so by the time that next season rolls around, with the amount of 20-year-olds that the team probably has, they got to figure out, okay, they have to do a bunch of trades. They have to start that rebuilding process and maybe go back into the cellar again. So unfortunately, that's the drawback of a team hosting. But what that does do for it is it brings in a lot of money, and it brings in the sponsors, and it puts a spotlight on that town. So there's trade-offs to hosting the cup, and there's also a lot of positives to it. The talent that the fans get to see, plus their own team in it. And that is episode